Hello, Gateway students, and welcome to another lesson using free Sketchup. What I want you to do is open your Google Chrome browser, and in the search window, type free Sketchup. And the first link that pops up will be the one you want to use. Select it, and you should get this interface. Immediately start modeling. Click. And if you see this blue logo, you're good to go. Otherwise, log in with your Google account. And then, to begin, you'll create this table starting with Create New. And then, as we've been doing, follow this procedure. Go to the Model Info tab on the right, select, change the format to decimals. Don't forget the step, decimals. Leave the precision as the default, leave length snapping as the default. Then go to the fourth tool up, it's called Scenes, click, and then make sure you're in parallel projection. It's the second cube here on the left, click, and then front view, click, and then select the 5 or 6'3" man, click, and hit delete or backspace on your keyboard and he'll disappear, he'll delete. Take the pan tool, that's the second tool down on the very bottom left. Move a pan over, your origin is down and to the left, and now I'm going to make the central axis of my round table. So I'm going to select the line tool and the origin, click, and drag my pencil right up that blue or the Y axis and take my hands off before I click a second time. And what I do is enter 30 on the keyboard, 30. You can see down the bottom left, it says length 30, and then hit enter to lock it in. Okay. Now I'm going to pull my line to the right and make sure that it says on red axis. That means it's parallel to the X axis. It's parallel to the red axis. Drag your pencil to the right, take your hands off, and go 24 on the keypad, and then enter. And then I'm going to zoom in with my mouse wheel, and I'm going to go down in a downward direction on the blue axis. And then when I see that, I'm going to enter 1 on the keyboard and enter. And I'm going to move to the left with my pencil on the red axis. Type 10, enter. Now these are not completely solid dimensions. You can design the tabletop as you see fit. I'm just going to randomly make little details now by angling, by going to the left a little more, by making a bit of an angle here. I'm going to zoom in and add some little details that I may be able to see in a future scene. But in this particular tabletop, you'll be focusing more on the very top. Now, once you've done these details, and if you want to focus on the base, you're going to use the pan tool. So you click pan and move it up. Go back to the pencil tool, and you see you're still connected. And then click. Now use the pan tool again if you so choose. Whoop. And then you can continue your line down, and I'm going to make an angle and down and make another angle. This is just a little detail. And then I'm not going to go all the way to the red. I'm not going all the way to the red axis because what I want to do is trim off. Actually, just leave that little central axis right there. Leave that, okay? So now we're going to revolve this. We're going to use the follow me tool, but first let's orbit, and we have to orbit so that we're looking downward, down on almost straight down on our profile. Under the rectangle tool, the third tool down is the circle. Click. And then that's why you want to select right there on the blue axis, the red and blue. Click. Make sure it's a blue circle and stretch it out to the end of your base, the edge of your base. And then rotate again and see, does yours look like Mr. Pole's? I want to see a little profile with a bit of a gap between your profile and this circle. Now you return to the eraser tool and erase this little tiny segment here. Now you're good to go. You're going to select the push-pull tool, and the second tool down is the follow me tool. Click. And then remember the way to use it is you put your cursor over your profile and you'll see little dots. Click once, then return to your circle, and right where it meets the red axis, that's where you want to place your cursor and click. And if you've done it correctly, you should have a seamless revolution. Now you return to the select tool, select the perimeter or the circumference of your circle, this little line, black line, click, and then hit the delete or backspace key and remove that circle. And then inspect the bottom of your table base. Is it solid? If so, you've done it correctly. Now, you're going to zoom out a little bit and maybe center it, and then start by, let's look at the top of the table and go to the right where you see this cube with the checkerboard on it. That's your materials area. Select this magnifying glass and you'll find a bunch of preloaded materials. And I've discovered that if I click wood and maybe this bottom left corner here, click gives you a fairly natural looking wood. If you click the top of your table, see, and maybe click the base here, maybe click the leg. Your color scheme is your own design. You be the designer. I'm going to return and keep it simple. I'm just going to go to the metal. Maybe I'll use this upper left corner here. Click just that first one and then click the remaining areas and see how it looks with a little bit of a gray metal, maybe a gray rim around this table. I'm going to orbit to the bottom. Now look, the bottom I still believe, okay, this area maybe it needs to be metal, 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 metal. Even all of this can be, remember all those details I put in? Make sure you select all those. Clean your model. Put in nice materials where they belong. Bingo. And then you can even orbit this way. See if you can see the top. Whoops, I can barely see it. It looks like it's all been, a metal is applied to all those surfaces. Now, this area here, I'm going to return to my wood right here, actually bottom right, this cube, and click right here. That's, okay, and really to impress, you can go to the glasses on the right, the display tab, turn off axes, turn shadows on, return to the scenes tab, put it in perspective view, and don't get alarmed if it got too small, and then zoom in. Don't forget to save your file at this point right here. Click save, double click on the Sketchup folder, name it table or round table. I'm gonna have to call mine round table 2021. Save here. Saving. Now that it's saved, you can select these three lines, download PNG, export as PNG, and you'll see that image went down and to the left. So I know that that either went to my recents folder or my downloads folder. I'm going to double click in my case and check my downloads folder. And there indeed is the image that you're going to want to turn in for assignment credit. Good luck.